This content is not suitable for persons under 13 years of age. Hello and welcome back again, all of my Total Legends. Today we're taking a very good look at the KFC Dreggs and Gunker, the final two Junkions in the KFC set. I'm blown away that these even exist. A couple of years ago when this was all first announced, I really didn't think they would follow through with it. But here we are and I'm really happy for it. Look, I can't wait anymore. There's a KFC seal right here and I just need to go like... ooh... Alright, so there's Gunker and Dreggs.
Insignificant human, subscribe to this channel immediately.
Now before we go much further, I just want to remind everybody that, of course, I bought these two guys from ShowZStore.com. Have a look at their website and take a look. I'm pretty sure they still got them both in stock as well as some of the others. They shipped it out to me super quick at a really good price. Just remember, my number one tip with ShowZStore is select the expedited shipping option from the product page and get a quote from there and you'll have it in no time. Alright, a couple of quick size comparisons. Here he is with KO MP44 and a bunch of Fans Toys bots. So he's pretty good size in comparison, I think. Now, I didn't buy the previous two. At this price point, I just couldn't justify buying all six, and they look way too similar to each other for my liking. These two guys are very unique looking and very different. Dreggs here was by far the one that I was anticipating the most. He has the most unique looking feature set with this semi-detached wheel through the middle of his chest and this different face. Having him in hand though, I'm not really digging the look too much. He's a little bit too ape-like. One thing I don't like about this set as a whole is the length of the arms, but these square shoulder pads, which are slidable, they're quite loose on their slider. They look really, really big and really bulky. Whereas here on Gunker, he has these spiky, rounded shoulder pads. He just looks well proportioned. That could also be the color scheme. Dreggs is, he's quite plain. Like, he really fits his name as just like what's left over. That is what he looks like, so fair enough. It's just not translating well in a figure. It's just, he looks a little bit boring. Gunker, on the other hand, has some fantastic colors going on here. A slight speckle in the brown plastic. This awesome sort of dark gunmetal thigh and knee color. And then they've got sort of got a matching greyish plastic for the hands and the biceps. The orange plastic on both of them seems a little bit bright for my liking, especially when I bring in my first run Wreckgar. It's a much more subdued orange. It's not this sort of like the orange on Gunker and Dreggs. It looks like it has like pink or red in it or something. Too much of that. It's a little bit overpowering and it's very bright and toy-like. When it comes to articulation, these guys are practically the same, except Gunker can look down quite a bit and Dreggs can look up. Neither can do both. The head rotation is about the same as well. We've got pretty good ratchet joints on the shoulders on both of them, forward and back with friction out, although the shoulder pads do pop off on Gunker a little bit. And I've got stress marks already in the peg holes for these shoulder pads. We can't imagine it would do too much damage, but it's just something to note. As we know, the arms are detachable and the ratchet joints in the elbows are super stiff. The waist is also ratcheted and the ratchets in the hips are nice and strong forward and back, holding all that die cast well, and we've got a friction out, which also holds pretty well. The knee bend is fantastic, and then when it comes down to the feet, I'm not a fan of these feet. They hinge at the back, they've got a ball socket for the ankle tilt, and my foot on Gunker is already loose, so he's always got a little bit of a Jackson lean going there. And I've just noticed now on my Gunker's loose foot, I have this massive crack going through this little shin piece here. Yeah, that kind of sucks. On Dreggs though, they're nice and tight. Big fan of them swapping their hands out. They have typewriter fingers now and a ball jointed thumb. The KFC hands are nice, but I find the fingers are too long and they get really loose really quickly. Now, accessory-wise, Gunker has 2 wheels, 2 identical guns, which he doesn't hold very well, couple of brown plugs, and a spike. Accessory-wise for Dreggs, he comes with 1 standard wheel and 1 detachable wheel, which is already on his chest. This one also goes on his back, and it looks a little bit weird. He also comes with a couple of rubber knee spikes, this brown spike, a long-range rifle, which tabs in just fine, and a couple of plugs. He also comes with his Windex of Rejuvenation, which he used in the '86 movie to polish or bring Magnus back to life, whichever you think actually happened. Tabs in just fine. Alright, that's enough about their bot modes. I guess we'll go through this transformation. Do you really want to? Yeah, alright, let's do Dreggs.
Like a system error.
Alright, that's it, it's finally done now. Transformation isn't too bad, it's a little bit fiddly, nothing quite lines up. I'm having trouble with that though. Maybe I've done something wrong with these arms, because I do have like, that's not quite straight, and although like there's room there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there it is in bike mode. Thinking about that connection though, even on my original dump yard, it's not 100%. My wreck gar I couldn't get quite 100% either. So I think it's just one of those things that you just got to fiddle with. Now gimmicks wise, there isn't really much happening. We have these stands, which work really nicely, and this back section keeps coming untabbed. And so does that. Get in. Alright. Got the handlebars, which are done in a nice chrome and have the same style horns as his head does. Got a couple of little tachometer details there. Stay still. Some silver painted mirrors and handbrakes. Got the clear windshield here, some clear plastic, which you can see the connection points underneath. Wheels spin nice and freely, although these spikes, they are really sharp, so it's not fun to touch, I guess.
Purchase the flesh covering immediately. It is only logical.
I prefer dump yard as a motorbike, and I do prefer the older style bike with the front forks. I think it's much better, and you can also turn the wheel a bit. Dreggs here, he looks like he was meant to have forks. Do you know what I mean? So the front wheel seems, well, it doesn't seem too far back when you put it sideways, but this all seems up too high. I don't know. I don't know. They've done a... Look, KFC have done a good job repurposing one mold for 6 figures. Like, I'm gonna give them, let's give them that. That is a fantastic job. They have done a good job. I'm just sort of at a level of nitpicking. Like, well, not so much with these tabs. That is frustrating. Overall, it's good. This was all quite fiddly to do, but once it's in. It's holding really well. The only problem I'm having is, like I've said, this sort of saddlebag area keeps coming. Yeah, and these just, they fall off really easily, so that's frustrating. Once it's all done and I put it on a shelf or whatever, I doubt I'll ever have this issue again. But right now, while I'm fiddling with it, it is frustrating. See, it's just come undone again. Yeah. All right. So final thoughts wise, is it worth it and should you buy it? I'm going to say yeah, definitely. They're priced a little bit higher than they used to be. That, take your pick at what reason that could be for. But I still think that they're worth it. Yeah, I did have some tabbing issues with Dreggs in motorbike mode. Maybe I did something wrong, maybe I didn't, who knows. It was the same with Dump Yard, just not to the same level. Overall, I think it's amazing that we even have this to begin with. KFC teased this idea so, 2 years ago now, maybe even longer. I never thought that they would come through all the way, and they have all 6 Junkions, and they look fantastic. I only went with 4, partially because that's all I could afford, and also because the other 2, I think they just look way too similar, so it didn't really do it for me. I personally think that everybody with a decent masterpiece collection, especially with a movie shelf, should at least have 2 of these. Grab yourself a Wreck-Gar and whichever other Junkion you like the look of the most. The mix of flat matte metallic paint from Dreggs and metallic paint from Gunker, I thought it would be a bit of a problem, but it hasn't been a problem. Because they're Junkions and they're made up of so many different parts, they get away with a lot. There's a lot that you wouldn't get away with in any other figure. It all looks like it's meant to be that way, so it works really well. And that's it. Now, if you enjoyed this video and liked what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to this channel. Remember to check out my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have the private group for Total Legends and my awesome website, botsandbits.net, for all your bots and bitty news. And as always, guys, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for watching.